Hey there, beautiful earth angels. Elvia Rowe, AngelsTeach.com, and welcome to Messages from the Angels. As I'm recording this, we're still glowing in the new moon in Taurus, which is such perfect energy, like so divinely timed for focusing on this month's card, which is the Empress. So not only is the moon in Taurus, and of course new moons being about new beginnings, but Venus is also in Taurus right now. So, that being kind of a sign where she feels very much at home. And again, it's just such perfect energy to be recording and offering this to you right now. So, yeah. We're focusing this month on a comparison of the Empress. This is the Rider-Waite version of it, which most people are familiar with who do tarot. Beautiful, beautiful energy, all about the divine feminine. It's about the embodiment of what it means to be feminine. So if you compare this to, for example, the High Priestess, which is the major arcana number 2, the High Priestess is associated with the moon and more about the subconscious, about the emotions, about the intuition. And the Empress is really about embodiment of all of that and grounding it here on the earth plane. So you'll see the sign of Venus right here. And she's wearing this crown that has 12 stars on it, which is about, just being present in all 12 months of the year. And I was also thinking about how in the Mayan tradition that Peter and I follow, 12 is about community. And so, she's really this mother figure who is calling everyone to the table and being there as a presence to unite. So really lovely, really soft, but very powerful energy that we're working with here. So I'm going to invite you once again to choose number 1, 2, or 3. I'm working with 3 other decks, the Empress from these 3 other decks. And I do encourage you, I know a lot of times folks, and it's great, get messages from all 3 cards. Do that if that's what you feel your guidance is. I also encourage you to, if you are getting a specific number, I know I myself always do, and it can vary every time I tune in and watch the video myself or tune in for the message. There may be something that your angels are emphasizing and underscoring extra. And sometimes I think when we want to take all of it, we miss the core focus that the angels, their core point that they're driving home. So take whatever is right for you, of course. And again, number 1, number 2, or number 3. For those of you who chose number 1, we have the Empress from the Neoteric Feminine Tarot deck. This is a newer one to me, and I honestly thought I wasn't necessarily going to love it, but I love it. And it has little messages at the top of the card as well. What I want to focus on is that she is a very modern depiction of the Empress. She's not just young, but she's sitting in a modern setting. She's wearing cool boots. She has her little drink from Starbucks or wherever sitting on the armrest of her chair. She's taking care of herself. She's nurturing herself. So much about Venus and Taurus and the Empress is about being still in nature, being one with these energies that heal, really. And here's this lovely young woman. She's pregnant. She's clearly pregnant, as you can see here. And in the Empress, the tarot, the Rider-Waite tarot, she may be pregnant, but she doesn't look very obviously, but she does here. And there are little ducks here in the background with little baby ducks. So this is truly about what it takes to take care of yourself as a mother so that you can be present for your children. So much about that is about allowing the restorative things in your life My kids, my youngest, just 31, they're grown up. And yet I'm still very present with them as a mother. And I still have to be mindful of taking care of myself so that I can continue to be present for them. When I was younger, I didn't do such a good job of that. I did okay, but not, as much as I could have. So wherever you are on the mama scale, maybe you don't even have children, that's fine. But, we all show up with this matriarch kind of energy, this mothering kind of energy as we take care of other people in our lives. That is true for all of us. So if you are over giving, which is my sense if you are a number one person, that this is your call to bring it back and restore yourself. Do those things that make you feel connected to the earth, that help you to feel more energized and really one with the power that you are. I want to add a little PS to this because as I looked at this card just to make sure that we were done with it, I noticed that the armchair looks like a boundary. And so much of being in this space of good energy, of high vibe, present for the people that you love and need to be present for, is about proper boundaries. I've been guided to write a lot about making sure that we're staying in that yes guidance. It can be so easy to be taken off course and influenced by other people, by the things we think we're supposed to do, by the things that we were taught to do, but those aren't necessarily about following our yes guidance. And so right now, with the energy moving so quickly, we are called to be extra vigilant with staying true to that yes guidance and, being clear with our boundaries and loving, of course, compassionate always, but making sure that we're putting up those boundaries to, again, be able to show up in that strong, very present, very motherly, beautiful, feminine space. For those of you who chose number 2, we have the Empress from Tori Hartman's Chakra Wisdom Tarot. And this is such a different interpretation of the card, and yet the archetype is still the same, which is really important to me. I've actually looked at other tarot decks, and if the archetype doesn't feel like it's still the same thread, then I don't gravitate towards it. I'm not judging. I'm sure it serves a very important purpose, but for me, the Empress archetype has to stay true no matter what the deck. And in this one, the woman sitting here is actually the Fool, which is the first card in the major arcana, and the Empress is handing her a chalice and showing her this powerful energy that she has within. She's showing her who she really is. And the message I want to bring forward through this card is about what it means to be an empress. Think empress, ruler, queen, just leader of people, right? And mothering, right? So we put together these energies and, somebody who is responsible for other people is built into the definition of what it means to be an empress. And with that comes responsibility. So the Empress isn't someone who just sits back and, eats bonbons and watches Suits. She is somebody who is consciously aware of the people in her life and taking care of them. And not just of the people that she knows, but also taking responsibility for her neighborhood, her town, her country, her planet, all of that. She is aware of this responsibility that is equal to the mission that she is here to accomplish, which is a very important key, because I think some people, look around the world everyone you look at has a different example of what their responsibility is, what their mission is here. So you have to be true to yourself and follow that. But in this card, it's about being the, living out the potential and the highest potential of what you are here to do and to be. And with that, serving those people in your life that you are here to serve. So this is a bit of a call to action, I gotta say, for you number 2 folks. It's time to be really aware of who you're here to take care of and to serve. The third card is the Empress from the Baroque Tarot. Clearly very different. And she's very sensual looking. She's very come hither, Venus in the bring it on, really loving and in her body and looking to partner with somebody intimately. And she's just sitting on her throne, so knowing herself, so feeling good in who she is in her body. And this card, is all about sensuality and taking care of your feminine self. She has seeds that have been planted in her. She does not appear to be pregnant in this, but those seeds have been planted. That's part of the archetype of the Empress, is that there are things that are growing, things that are on their way. Again, this is card number 3 in the major arcana. So the journey has begun, the seeds have been planted, and she is nurturing them. And in this particular instance, it feels as though there's an emphasis on, interesting, what I'm hearing from the angels, there's an emphasis on looking who, those seeds have been planted and they, this is about fertility, so they've been fertilized, but who is your partner? Who is the person who is coming together with you to help you manifest whatever it is that those seeds are? And it could literally be children, but it could also, and I think probably for most folks, is some kind of a mission, a dream, a purpose that you're here to fulfill. And a lot of times, it's funny because I've gone in and out of this journey myself of how much I partner with other people. And, it always comes back to a big part of my karma is to stand on my own and do things on my own. And yet I still have a magnificent support system and team who are working with me. Point being that none of us work alone. None of us are entirely independent because, we're connected. And we're connected in ways that when we deny that, we wither on the vine. So there is something very badass, I gotta say, about this particular interpretation of the Empress. She doesn't look like your typical mother type. She just doesn't. She looks like, I am woman, hear me roar. And I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of my needs. And I am on my road of manifesting. And I am good. That's what she feels like to me. I just want to show you these cards together because look how completely different they are. How the energy is just so diverse, and yet, as I said before, they all embrace the same archetype. And I feel like one of the reasons I've been so enchanted by tarot is because I've taken the angel communication thing where we, really interpret the messages from anything and, use our own intuition as the guide. And tarot that has this huge history and embraces these archetypes. It's just this beautiful melding of richness, of messages that have such depth and have such, I'm hearing purpose. which is definitely true. So it also underscores what one of the things I love to say is that the right card is just as important as the right deck. So you got to make sure that the decks that you have, and this is not an excuse necessarily to go out and buy a new deck, but if you feel like your tools are not quite cutting it, maybe it's time to borrow one from a friend, or go see Jeff Bezos or wherever you get your card decks. So anyway, with that, so much love to you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Be well, and I look forward to next time.